This section is about speed limits. The Highway Code is published by the Department for Transport and is licensed under the Open Government Licence version 3.0. For more information, you can click on the link in the description below. The Highway Code contains a table of speed limits which will display on the screen. As it's quite difficult to describe a table in audio, we will only be discussing the speed limits for vehicles which you can drive with a Category B or car driving licence. Rule 124. You must not exceed the maximum speed limits for the road and for your vehicle. A speed limit of 30 miles per hour or 20 miles per hour in Wales generally applies to all roads with streetlights, unless signs show otherwise. These are the speed limits for cars and motorcycles, including car-derived vans, so vans that look like a car, up to 2 tonnes maximum laden weight. In built-up areas in England and Scotland, 30 miles per hour. Built-up areas in Wales, 20 miles per hour. Single carriageways, unless signposted otherwise, 60 miles per hour. Dual carriageways, unless signposted otherwise, 70 miles per hour. And motorways, unless signposted otherwise, 70 miles per hour. Cars towing caravans or trailers, built-up areas in England and Scotland, 30 miles per hour. Built-up areas in Wales, 20 miles per hour. Single carriageways, 50 miles per hour instead of 60 miles per hour. Dual carriageways, 60 miles per hour instead of 70 miles per hour. And motorways, 60 miles per hour instead of 70 miles per hour. And remember, if you are towing a trailer, you are not allowed to use the right-hand lane on a motorway which has 3 or more lanes. Motorhomes or motor caravans less than 3 tonnes maximum unladen weight. Built-up areas in England and Scotland, 30 miles per hour, and built-up areas in Wales, 20 miles per hour. Single carriageways, 60 miles per hour, the same as a car. Dual carriageways, 70 miles per hour, the same as a car. And motorways, 70 miles per hour, the same as a car. Just as a side note, if you have done a self-build motorhome that is actually still registered with the DVLA as a van, then you are subject to the van speed limits, not motorhome or motor caravan speed limits. Motorhomes or motor caravans over 3 tonnes. Built-up areas in England and Scotland, 30 miles per hour, and built-up areas in Wales, 20 miles per hour. Single carriageways, 50 miles an hour instead of 60. Dual carriageways, 60 miles per hour instead of 70. And motorways, 70 miles per hour. And goods vehicles not exceeding 7.5 tonnes. So essentially we're talking about small lorries and vans such as a Mercedes Sprinter or Ford Transit. Built-up areas in England and Scotland, 30 miles per hour. Built-up areas in Wales, 20 miles per hour. Single carriageways, 50 miles per hour instead of 60 for cars. Dual carriageways, 60 miles per hour instead of 70 miles per hour for cars. And motorways, 70 miles per hour. There may be locally set speed limits. For example, some built-up areas in England and Scotland may be set to 20 miles per hour, and some built-up areas in Wales may be set to 30 miles per hour. Always follow the road signs that you see. 50 miles an hour may apply on some single carriageways with known hazards. Again, if you see a sign, stick to it. And variable speed limit signs are used on some motorways and dual carriageways to change the maximum speed limit according to conditions. Speed limits are enforced by the police. Rule 125. The speed limit is the absolute maximum and does not mean it is safe to drive at that speed irrespective of conditions. Unsafe speed increases the chances of causing a collision or being unable to avoid one, as well as its severity. Inappropriate speeds are also intimidating, deterring people from walking, cycling, or riding horses. Driving at speeds too fast for the road and traffic conditions is dangerous. You should always reduce your speed when the road layout or condition presents hazards such as bends, when sharing the road with pedestrians, particularly children, older adults or disabled people, cyclists and horse riders, horse-drawn vehicles and motorcyclists, when weather conditions make it safer to do so, and when driving at night, as it is more difficult to see other road users. Rule 126. Stopping distances. The Highway Code does have a table of stopping distances at different speeds for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 and 70 miles per hour. We're not going to discuss those here, as it's generally accepted that the 2-second rule, or the 4-second rule in wet weather, is a good alternative to having that knowledge. You should leave enough space between you and the vehicle in front so that you can pull up safely if it suddenly slows down or stops. The safe rule is never to get closer than the overall stopping distance. Allow at least a 2-second gap between you and the vehicle in front on high-speed roads and in tunnels where visibility is reduced. The gap should be at least doubled to 4 seconds on wet roads and up to 10 times greater on icy roads. Remember, large vehicles and motorcycles need a greater distance to stop. If driving a large vehicle in a tunnel, you should allow a 4-second gap between you and the vehicle in front. If you have to stop in a tunnel, leave at least a 5-meter gap between you and the vehicle in front. Tailgating is where the gap between you and the vehicle in front is too small for you to be able to stop safely if the vehicle in front suddenly brakes. Tailgating is dangerous, intimidating and can cause collisions, especially when driving at speed. Keeping a safe distance from the vehicle in front gives you time to react and stop if necessary. Dangerous and careless driving offences, such as tailgating, are enforced by the police.